Hello, loved ones. This might make you laugh the way it made me laugh, but recently I read Colossians 3:12 in the King James Version, and here's how it reads. Put on, therefore, as the elect of God, holy and beloved, bowels of mercy, kindness, humbleness of mind, meekness, long-suffering. There it is, bowels of mercy. Not a kind vibe, not a gentle attitude, bowels. And before you sprint past that phrase like it's a pothole in a translation, let's talk about what it means, because in Strong's Concordance, where it says bowels, it talks about how the bowels in those times were seen as the seat of the more violent passions like anger and love. But for the Hebrews, they were the seat of the tenderer affections, especially kindness, benevolence, compassion. Basically, they were what in biblical times were known as heart. Although, bowels would certainly, I love you with all my bowels would not make a great Valentine's Day card, so I don't recommend that. They were the place of deep affection. So when Paul says put on the bowels of mercy, he's not talking about surface level kindness or let's be nice to each other. He's talking about mercy that lives down deep, mercy that has a physical address in you, which honestly sounds a lot more like what we're hearing about today when, we're talking a lot about gut health and how important that is, not just to our bodies, but to our minds. Seems like the ancient Israelites were way ahead of us. All of a sudden, we're aware that if our gut is off, everything's off. Our energy, our mood, your clarity, your cravings, one little imbalance, and you're like, why am I so upset that there's a sock on the floor? The gut's connected to everything. And Colossians 3:12 is basically saying you want a healthy Christian life, you need bowel health. You need mercy that comes from deep within. Not just I can be nice when it's convenient, but a cultivated inner life where compassion is your default setting. Because if your bowels are full of bitterness, contempt, and snapped off opinions, that's what spills out when someone cuts you off, contradicts you, disappoints you, or posts something that you don't like online. But if you've been putting on the bowels of mercy, then when life squeezes you, out comes kindness. Yeah, you knew that was coming, right? So here's the question. What's living deep inside you now? And what would it look like today to put on mercy? Not like an accessory, but like an internal organ that keeps you spiritually alive,